In a brutal and unprincipled manner, the Kafirs continued to destroy the Ukrainian civilian population. In Zaporizhia region, 2 Ukrposhta employees' vehicles were hit by a tank. A man and a woman were delivering pensions and basic goods to the elderly. Meeting them head-on the road, the Kafirs first shot the defenseless man and then crushed their car with a tank. The mayor of Gostomel, a town on the outskirts of Kyiv where fierce fighting continues, was also a victim of Russian monsters. Yuri Prolipko, together with volunteers, distributed bread and medicine to the population, for which he was brutally murdered. His body was found mined, said the mayor of Kyiv, Vitaly Klitschko.
Він до останнього подиху був з громадою, піклувався про людей.
Medical facilities are another target of Russian invaders. CNN journalists shared a video from the train that was urgently taking critically ill children to Poland because it was too dangerous to stay in the Kharkiv region.
Сказати, що там війна.
Ну, кажи.
А там війна. Тебе ми другій лікарні будемо жити.
The baby and his mother were placed right on the floor. In the made-up tents, the doctors did their best to keep the critically ill stable. In just 11 days, 34 hospitals were shelled by the Russian invaders. Despite the war and danger, the whole city of Energodar came out to say goodbye to its heroes, Yevgen Ukolov and Mikhailo Frolikov. True patriots gave their lives to protect their native Energodar, its strategic facility, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, and the entire world from an environmental disaster, which can happen if at least some nuclear power unit or tanks with liquidated nuclear fuel are damaged by shelling by the invaders. The Zaporizhzhia power plant is the largest in Europe and 6 times as powerful as Chernobyl. Now it is under the control of the invaders. Ukrainian athletes hold the defense. Football player Roman Bezus scored the winning goal in the Belgian championship match and dedicated the victory to our defenders, together with the Ukrainian Paralympic athletes. After all, each of their medals at the Paralympics 2022 in Beijing, now 4 gold, 3 silver and 1 bronze, is dedicated to the Ukrainian warriors, fearless and unconquered.
Скільки ще потрібно смертей і втрат, щоб убезпечити небо над Україною? Чим мирні люди у Харкові чи Миколаєві відрізняються від Гамбургу або Відня? Ми чекаємо рішення, очищення неба, або силою, яка у вас є, або ви дасте нам бойові літаки і засоби протиповітряної оборони, які дадуть нам потрібну силу.
Europe is on the brim of a new nuclear catastrophe. This is Enerhodar city in Ukraine. The largest in Europe nuclear power plant is located here. Unarmed residents of the city came out to prevent the Russian occupiers from seizing the nuclear power plant. They understand that any damage to the plant will cause an environmental catastrophe, the next Chernobyl or Fukushima. It is no longer a Ukrainian issue. It is a possible threat for the whole of Europe and even the world. For the first time in war history, the Russian army has deliberately attacked a nuclear power plant. It is definitely an act of state terrorism. Even if the concrete walls of the plant will deter the impact, its transformers and turbines are defenseless against mortars and tanks. If they are damaged, there will be a leak of a radiation cloud, and only the wind knows where this cloud goes. Ukrainians defend their land courageously, but their strength is limited. The Russian army acts like terrorists, shelling hospitals, maternity wards, kindergartens, and civil neighborhoods. Putin's army will stop at nothing, even if it means a nuclear disaster. We live in a global world. There are no walls of sanctions or money that will protect you from this disaster. The larger ecosystem of the region covers not only the Black Sea and multiple rivers that run through Ukraine, but also dozens of European countries that are less than 1,000 kilometers away. The outcomes of the possible tragedy will be catastrophic. They will last for decades and cost trillions of euros to overcome. While every Ukrainian is defending Europe with their bare hands from Putin's evil intentions, what does the world do? Europe and Ukraine's allies must act as decisively as the Ukrainian people. Protecting and closing the Ukrainian sky is the #1 task to avoid this catastrophe, because radiation has no nationality and stops at no borders.